to let them know about the presence and absences of their students. Right. We send SMSs about the headmasters does this. We telephone parents to let them know about the things we said before. We send letters.
Especially about absences, letters are normally informing parents about absences. Moreover,
we skip something, but we'll say it afterwards. The most interesting action we take is the face-to-face meetings with the parent. Right. When a parent comes to us,
don't worry.
Okay. We say all the things we have for his child from September until the time he came and asked. So this is the most interesting part, because we propose him some actions to take in home. Take care of your child, press him a little more.
Do you think your school is good?
Maybe.
Okay, thank you.
Things are more or less the same.
Right.
So SMS, emails, personal contact, 3 times per year there are meetings with parents at the beginning when they come for the grades and at the end of the year. Usually this is effective because parents care about their children, right. But some parents, not so many parents, are indifferent.
Right.
And I don't think there is any measure or something to do to make them care more about their children.
Okay.
Because I have for some years worked on the vocational education, these things don't apply to this let's say case, because there are a lot of problems with children that we don't have at the general the 2 schools.
Yeah.
But the vocational education has problems, a lot of them.
Okay.
But I think now there is a new, let's say, legal way to treat with them. I think they have hired psychologists or people that are specialized in dealing with difficult situations. Sometimes parents express themselves when they come at school. They express their, let's say, way of thinking about what we should do about the grades, the way we teach, the way we behave their children.
Excellent.
And if sometimes we take a mobile phone from a child because it is forbidden to have mobiles at school, yes, they come at the same time to pick and take part of the mobile phones. But if we call them to say that there are problems with the discipline or behavior, bad behavior, sometimes they don't come. You have to call them again and again and again. And what else? It exists a school website and Facebook to inform parents and children about school function, educational news, and some recent changes about the way the school works. Because in Greece, everyone is interested in the, let's say, exams about getting to the university.
He will ask the boss and tell us about the...
Δεν σας είπα ρε παιδιά, την ώρα που κάνετε το κουμπάκι signing, θα μου γελάσετε. Δεν το είδαμε το κατάλληλο ύφος.
Υπάρχει. Δεν υπάρχει.
Όχι μ' αρέσει ότι πολυτσάκες.
Activity is going to be taking you around on a tour of the school, so you can see the environment, you can see the structure of classrooms, you can take some pictures, you can ask our local students some questions, anything you can, and then everything else is largely going to be based in here. You'll have discussions from our head teacher, how we engage our families in school, looking at our pastoral role from a head of year. We will also then have our data manager who's coming in to talk to you about our system for Go for Schools that is tracking, and it's also how we set homework that parents can also access so they know their students, their children are not doing homework or whether they are doing homework. So it works quite well. They don't necessarily like it, but they will get used to it. So they're going to take you on a tour. We're going to have to split the group in half, I'm afraid, because there's so many of you. And they're going to start at different ends, but you are going to see the whole school. Please, if you want to stop for photos, they're really, really helpful. They will take photos of you. If you want around wherever, they're really, really good. They've done this lots of times. Please ask them as many questions as you wish about school, about uniform, what they do in school subjects, how they feel we communicate with home and the ways parents can get involved, the way they can get involved. Also ask them about our we've got twins and they're going to take 14 of you around. So guys, if you want to stand out there, and then 14 of you, if you'd like to follow, you can leave everything here. You don't need to leave your bag, take your bag, take photos.
Ποιο όμως την αναρρίχηση?
Στην αναρρίχηση.
Όχι ούτε 31 και 34 που κάνουμε.
Όχι, όχι, θυμίζω, ήταν όμως αυτό, ήταν τα A-levels.
Okay guys, just stand for a minute please, y'all. We've got some visitors.
Μα κάνουν εδώ.
Εδώ είναι ένα εργαστήριο.
May we take photos? Yeah.
Τα παιδιά. Θα μου ρωτήσουν
Guys, they're learning how to give their opinion, how to present, and give an argument. There's no exam.
You write your names on the front of your booklet, please, your chair.
They also have to raise awareness. Everything, yeah? Drama teachers. Not English teachers.
Σοφία.
Έχουμε 2-3 στη βιβλιοθήκη.
Μόνο το πρώτο νοικείο.
Σε ένα βαθμό τι μπορεί να κάνει.
Εδώ είναι το έχουμε 15 μελίτες. Student ambassador.
Τα βραβεία, όσοι έχουν πάρει βραβεία, έτσι.
Like it so I can learn more about it.
Ναι.
Μιλάμε τεράστιες εκτάσεις, απίστευτο, κάτσε μου πει φωτογραφία. Στόσο Παναγιώτη, εδώ στο γήπεδο. Κοίτα τώρα, κοίτα τώρα. Άι, με πετάνε, βρε. Θα μας βγάλουν μετά εμάς.
Support or anything will help with computers if there's a problem with the system or our accounts. We can go to one of the technicians and they can help us.
Yeah? Are there many? Technicians, are there many?
Έχουμε και μεσαίνα για όλο τον νομό.
4 technicians, there's several different teachers.
Please explain me something about that. I explain.
This is the other Chinese people like come over here.
Yeah, this is our language room, and we also teach Mandarin here as well. So it's set up as a Chinese room in Mandarin. We have tea ceremonies in here as well.
Are you advanced?
Πάμε.
But what do you do in South Korea?
We are like really similar in
Yeah, and
the only thing different that we do is we do all the same like after school clubs.
they're about 1 year old now.
Head of each subject. We use the head of science.
You are
Organize all of the science.
προϊστάμενος σε κάθε μάθημα.
Yes, there's a head of each subject, as well as student ambassadors.
probably and
School ambassadors, it concerns students.
Yeah, so I'm a language ambassador, so I do things with language. That's how I'm taking you guys around today, because I represent the school for languages. Because I take German, French, Welsh, and English.
You.
Yeah.
Αλέκο, από εδώ μας λένε να πάμε. Από εκεί.
All of the head of the subject. Yeah. So every teaches a subject.
Morning, morning.
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 Less depending on what we've done in class. Go to a Brunel comprehensive school, but this school is better, so my parents wanted me to come to this school, so I travel every morning to come here.
30-40 minutes.
Οι γονείς την έστειλαν εδώ, λέει.
Yes, but how you come to school?
I come to school on a bus.
School bus.
Yeah. And then sometimes
But you pay.
Yeah.
Family pays.
yeah, we
The
pay.
family.
Yeah, it's £15 a week.
A week.
Yeah, per
50
person.
λίρες την
Την
εβδομάδα.
εβδομάδα για τη μεταφορά.
Yeah,
Who
so
pays for that?
my parents.
Γιατί ήθελα να τη στείλουν εδώ, λέει, είναι καλύτερο σχολείο.
And there's other students as well, so there's different buses that go around the area. So there's one that goes from Abergavenny, which goes 10 miles from here.
It must
Είναι δωρεάν.
be quite
Πληρώνουν τα τουλαπάκια τους.
If you were alone, you couldn't come.
Yeah, I could come, but it would be hard for my parents because they work.
Are there any other students near you?
Yeah, so my sister as well.
How many students are in the bus?
There's about 30 students who come from
30 μαθητές. 30 μαθητές μαζεύουν. Το λεωφορείο περνάει και μαζεύει. Αυτό λέω, αν ήσουν να
Each year group has their own head of year. So it's 1 for year 8, 9,
10 all the way through school. As head of year, I stay with that year group now all the way through to when they leave school at 16. So I get to know them really well, and it means that they've got that consistency because they have the same member of staff that they can come to when they've got problems or if they've got things that they want to talk about. In terms of what we do with communication home, we do a number of different things. I've got some handouts to give you, and I've got something on the board to show you as well. The main this is what we use as our main way of communicating home. It's called Scoop. It's shortened from Schools in the Loop. So it's a software package that we've bought into as a school. Most teachers have access to this Scoop software, and it basically allows us to send alerts out to parents, giving lots of bits of different information. So, for example, over the past week, these are all examples of different bits of information that have gone out to parents. So yesterday, the drama department sent out a scoop about the fact that the tickets for our musical, which is happening in March, go on sale today. So that's got scooped out to parents. All of the parents have now been able to see that the tickets are on sale, so they can come in and buy the tickets if they need to. There's information there on sixth form open evenings, so general day-to-day information about sixth form open evenings. You've got exam sessions. You've got stuff going on in schools, and the fact that we're having new fencing built up. All of that information can be just sent out to parents straight away, written in a small alert, and it appears on their phone. So all of the parents will have a Scoop app, okay, just like an app on their phone, and it comes up in as alert, and they'll be able to just read what the information says. Heads of years use the Scoop app to send out bulletins. So, for example, I don't know if my year 7 one's on there, year 8. It's not. Engagement. Year 7 January bulletin. So this was one that I sent out. And it allows you to send out lots of information. So once a access it for their student. No, I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure, but there are similar ones in existence across Europe. Yeah. So the bulletins, you've all got an example of the bulletins there. There's 2 examples there. I've included the November bulletin and the January bulletin, mainly because they've got 2 different bits of information. The bulletin includes a number of different bits of information, so I include key dates that is coming up in that month so that they know what to look out for. So for example, if we're having class timetable days, uniform days, I include those in the bulletins. For example, for the January one, I put in the February half-term date so they know what it is. I then go through general information. So this half-term, I've talked about the results, uniform, a reminder that what our uniform policy is, because some students will try to tell parents that, oh, it's okay to wear this, it's okay to wear that, which isn't. So it's a nice reminder to parents, this is what our rules are for uniform, this is what you should be wearing. I report regularly on attendance, so I let them know what their attendance is, what the year group attendance is. Our target is 96%, so and then step by step say, Dave called me a name, I asked him to stop, Dave did not stop, so I pushed him, Dave pushed me back, so it gives me a good idea of who's at fault, who needs to be disciplined, is there one worse than the other, and then we can base our sanctions based on how they filled this form out. We tried, when there have been occasions where there perhaps has been a fight or where a student has been rude to a member of staff, we try to get leadership team who can decide to actually have the student removed to a different area. It doesn't happen very often. Most we tend to give out at 2 or 3 days. Yeah. Would be maximum what we give out. We've never really given out more than that. Yeah. The one down from that then is what is called our B4LC, our Behaviour for Learning Centre, which is essentially an isolation unit. So they basically get put in a little booth,
walls either side, a desk and a chair. They work in complete silence, they're not allowed to talk to anyone, and they can be in there for as little as an hour or 2 hours, depending on like the punishment, up to as much as 5 days in isolation.
But they also, as punishment, they don't have break times with their friends, so they will be walked and escorted to break time. They will have a snack, but they are not with their friends at all. They will be earlier than their friends go for break time. And the same for lunchtime. They will be escorted upstairs, they can eat their lunch, they will be escorted back down. There's no interaction with their friends as a further punishment for the fact that they've misbehaved. You lose that social time with your friends. But yeah, it tends to be 5 days. Generally, anything bigger of an incident tends to go to fixed term exclusion. But the Behaviour for Learning Centre, the B4LC, students don't like it. No, they really don't like it. They don't like that they can't talk. They don't like that they are... The only thing they can do in there is work. There's no mobile phones in there at all. They're to hand it in as they enter. And it is always manned by a member of staff.
Yeah. Consistency across year groups, so that like somebody doing something in year 7 has the same punishment as somebody who did the same thing in year 9. So it's fair then. You don't get that whole kind of, that's not fair. You don't like that one.
When you do all this, in the end of the day, if something happens that you have to tackle with it at the end of the day?
Generally, when I can in the school day, so break times and lunch times I'll deal with it.
Oh, I see.
In my free periods I'll deal with it. If we get there first, it's a calmer, easier kind of situation.
And usually the parents, the care, they believe you, they defend you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, majority of the
Yes.
time. There are some parents that are difficult, but majority of the time we get the support from the parents.
Maybe give us some more information about the family engagement.
We don't necessarily have a specific person in charge of family engagement. It tends to be that everyone can actually engage with the family. The head teacher's coming in for the next part of the day to talk to you about how parents' evenings are run. So every child in every year group will have an evening with 3 hours after work. We, as teachers, will sit around and parents can come and talk to us about how their student is doing. The Scoop programme that Georgia has, that is one of our most practical ways, because this goes to absolutely every parent we have in seconds. We also have an alert system that runs if a child is in lesson 1 and 2 and then suddenly doesn't appear for their lesson 3 after break time. They might have wandered off, thinking we won't notice, but that will actually alert their parents and they'll get a text message or a phone call home from our administrative team. So they're really, really good. But generally, heads of year have, and the leadership team have the most contact with parents. The teachers tend to normally just see them on...
Expectation is for their sons and daughters, and then we ask them if they have any problems or questions. And the progress leader for year 7, who is Georgia, and why you two go in, we make a good team. We very much value... what we believe as a school is that the well-being of our children is at the heart of every success they have. So our progress leaders give us that opportunity to make sure that they're happy and safe in school, and that we're dealing with any issues. And in that first sort of, I think it's about October, the parents' evening for year 7, and then parents will bring up any queries or questions. And then we have a parents' evening that is for our year 11 students who've got their major exams in the summer of this year. So we have an evening with them in October as well to talk to them about revision and how they're going to do well. And in fact, we've discussed this morning having another evening for them about revision techniques and getting their children involved in what we would describe now as a specific revision plan for exams, which will be in May and June. We also communicate with parents by something called Scoop, which is a software program which allows us to send out letters. And we also have a protocol whereby, as far as is possible, parents can ring us, and they do on a very regular basis, email us. They have my email, they have Progress Leaders emails, but we also will have try and have a 24-hour reply line. So yesterday we had a parent come in who wanted to see me urgently at 9 in the morning, and we try, if possible, where it is an emergency, to see them as fast as we can. We also have protocols in place for specialist support. We have currently a girl...
πώς βοήθησε την Ουαλία, πώς βοηθάει τώρα, γιατί δεν το κάνουν σαν έκθεση αυτό. Ναι, ναι, το κάνουν σαν έκθεση αυτό. Τώρα όλα τα πράγματα που θα κάνουν στο κομπιούτερ θα τα βάλουμε μαζί και μετά θα πρέπει να το στείλουμε για να τους δώσουν το GCSE που θα κάνουν. Α, ναι, ναι, ναι. Δεν το καταλαβαίνουν που είναι από τη Γέφυρα.
I've had degrees before. Dimitra, also from Greece. I teach biology.
I'm a biology teacher.
I don't leave for breaks for lunch, so they always know that I'm here if ever anybody wants to see me for whatever reason.
So you're a counsellor, yeah?
No, this is an intervention class.
So you're a teacher?
Yeah, so that students that don't access the full timetable for various different reasons. Sometimes it could be students being absent from school for a certain amount of time, so they've missed out on a lot of lessons, so they will come here to do extra lessons from mainstream. But some children just come here for a chat and support, and others come here for work, for lots of different reasons.
You aren't gonna speak English.
Good English. Right, if you would like to come with me.
And
welcome. And in Wales we say croeso, so welcome to croeso. We have a cup of tea for you in a minute, or a coffee. And what we will do is then give you a little visit of the school, a tour. How many of you have been to Wales before?
We are the young, the children of the world. We hold tomorrow in our hands. We are the young, the promise of a brighter day. The future waits at our command. Teach us well, teach us how to care. Give us love, love that we can share. And we'll walk hand in hand in the light of the rising sun. We are the young. We are the young, and so we look to you to show us how this world should be. We are the young, they trust in your experience to help us shape our destiny. Teach us well, teach us how to care, give us love that we can share, and we'll walk hand in hand in the light of the rising sun. We are the young. That day is dawning.
Hello everybody. This is Lucy Rose, and that's my assistant head. That's Melanie James. Gina. And Gina is coming here. She's coming here. And Gina is the parental engagement officer, and she deals with all the liaison with the parents and the school, because that's one of the things, is one of our strengths of our school.
All the eats, 2 fat ladies in the kitchens.
Oh, okay.
No, okay, you. No. Now the number is coming. Yes.
big school. We've got 1,700 pupils.
Wow.
Yes, it's a big school. You're going to meet lots of them shortly. About 10% of our pupils have state support. They have free school meals. We've got a lot of children with special educational needs here. And we've got 52 different languages spoken in Cardiff High. 52 different languages spoken in this school. So it's a real mixture of pupils in what we call a comprehensive school. I took over in 2011 as head teacher. I think it's fair to say at the time the school was good, but it could be much, much better, and that's what we've tried to do working with staff over the years. And we tried to make a good school great, and how we did that is by this concept of learning together. So if I can just, that's our vision for the school. So first of all, the focus was much more, we wanted to change the focus in the classroom, so the emphasis was on the pupil learning, taking part in the learning process in their lessons with the teacher, not the teacher giving direct information all the time. So we changed the focus. I think it's fair to say today that children will have lots of different jobs throughout their lives. They're going to change their jobs, change their careers. So we want to make sure they can learn when they're very young, right the way through their lives. They need to be able to learn. So that was our first focus. But in order to make a good school great, we said that we as teachers have to be so much better. We're not good enough. We're not good enough at what we do in the classroom. And we recognise that the better we become as learners, the better teachers we will be, and the better our pupils will perform in school and be better throughout their lives. So we put a huge emphasis on our teacher training here. Huge, huge emphasis. Everything we do here is about improving the teaching or the practice of our teachers. They have to be better. I will be better at this talk next time I do it, because I would have done it once, and I'll practice and I'll be better. And that's the concept we adopt. The final part of this has been about engaging parents. We meet parents monthly to engage them in not just giving them information, but actually explaining to them, this is how we teach maths, this is how we teach English, this is our latest view on digital technology, this is how we use iPads or iPhones, and this is what we do with your children in the classroom, and we want to share that with you. So we're engaging the parents in the learning process as well. So just very briefly, what I've described to you is this concept of learning together. Parents, staff and pupils, the whole focus of the school is on learning. Everything we do is about learning. Lots of leadership, you're all leaders, lots of ways of leading staff, lots of ways of dealing with things, but ultimately what this school is all about is this. It's the learning aspect. Simon, as Deputy Head, will talk to you about a little bit more of the complexities around that just for a few minutes.
Yes,
Thank you, Simon.
Hi, welcome. Nice to meet you all. I want to show you, as Steve said, and just take you and show you actually how we expect our leaders in the school, how we expect our middle leaders, senior leaders and teaching staff at all levels in the school to actually lead learning and teaching and make sure that they can be the best they can be in the classroom. So I want to share with you two Welsh models first of all, before actually I bring it back to Cardiff High School. In Wales at the moment, Wales is going through a bit of a transformation nationally in education. We've got a new curriculum which is being developed across the whole of Wales with the profession, with Welsh Government. And actually we've been working in Wales on a concept called Schools as a Learning Organisation. Now this actually comes from the OECD. So the Welsh Government is currently working with the OECD on a 3-year project and plan on that. And this is Schools in Wales as a Learning Organisation, which we really wholeheartedly believe actually is important and actually reflects perhaps our journey over the last 10, 15 years since we've been in the school. I know you can't see what's on that diagram, but this model recognises actually that the most successful schools internationally all share 7 common dimensions. And at the heart of the 7 common dimensions is what you're trying to achieve for the learners, for the youngsters, for our students here in Cardiff High School. You won't be surprised to actually, just if I reel through the 7, what they are. Around the school and actually see it firsthand. So we're going to take you on some learning walks to visit some classrooms and some lessons, and for you to actually be able to see how that's going to work. So I'm going to hand over to one of our assistant heads, Sam Eaton, who's going to organise that for you.
Well, folks, just very quickly, you can leave your bags and your coats here. We have 6 groups. I'm going to hand over to somebody farm.
Going outside with that into okay.
No, no. So, but they can use eye pointing, they've got eye gaze technology. They can, if you've got a child that's quite low, like Alice there, a little girl with a tube in her nose, you do something, she smiles, and you just stop. And you just wait, and then she might cry, she might protest, she might reach out, she might turn to you, and that is communicates more. And I'd have maths, show an interest in counting with an adult. Now some children go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but they don't know, so 1 to 1, you know. And then we always have an IT, so they've got switches to press and things, and physio targets about moving.
So we talked
So
about the
I'll fill
ambitious,
this in.
sorry, Jack, the ambitious, capable learner that I mentioned, the new curriculum. That using a switch for a child like we have here is so. Yeah. So they're ambitious. They're showing they can make a choice.
Emily's not here. She'll have a tray with a switch to press, and she goes forward on the mobility platform, and she's got left and right, and she'll go like this. And the independence, the smile on her face. But then we take video of everything they achieve, and then we.
This is on the back of this pony. So the red pony that we walked out, this is their yard.
Oh, I see.
So we have another yard.
Each school has its yard.
Yes. Each classroom has a little outside area.
I see.
It's that can be used just for other activities. Often when you go in and watch a lesson, there's for the carousel.
Your name? Oh, show us your name.
Ah, pues tienes sus buenos momentos.
Are you all from the same country?
No.
No. We are from Romania and exercise with them for the children. So they come. We also have some children from a Welsh